In this video, we're going to be taking a look at taking an existing design and just tweaking it just a little bit. And by doing that, you kind of make your own version of it. Um, and of course, that's nice because, buying designs that are already created for us is a great time saver, especially if we don't have the skills or design ideas to begin with. But you don't want all of your work looking like everyone else's either. So if you could take an existing design, make a couple of minor modifications, then it'd be more your own. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take the EPS file and just drag it into CorelDRAW here. And I'm going to right click on it and ungroup all and delete all of this extra stuff we don't need. I want to show you something here to better understand CorelDRAW a little bit. We're going to take this gray shadow and drag it over, right click to make a duplicate. And you can see this is just one shape and it has a cutout in it. If I right click on this shape and break it apart, you get this. If you go to wireframe mode, you can actually see all the paths are still there. And if we select it, you look down here, it says 4 objects. So let's go back to enhance mode here. Let's change our shadow to orange and push it to the bottom by hitting shift page down. Little keyboard shortcuts in CorelDRAW that you must know because it will save you so much time. Shift page down pushes things to the bottom. Shift page up pushes things to the top. Control page down, control page up. So control page down will move the selected object down step, one step, one step, one step. Rather than push it all the way to the bottom, it just moves it back one object. So maybe I can explain this better. You see here, this is pushed to the bottom. So let's shift page up. And that brings it all the way to the top of the layer stack. Now watch what happens when I hit control page down. See how it just moved back one step, control page down. It moved back one more step. Shift page down, all the way down to the bottom of the heap. Okay? So just little CorelDRAW things that are important to know. All right. So these are our 4 bits. We have the 1, the 6, the inside of the 6, the shadow. Okay? Now, what can we do? Well, let me show you what we can do here. We're going to right click on our shadow and break it apart. Then we're going to take our shadow and we're going to delete it. We're going to switch to wireframe mode so we can see the inside of our 6, and we're going to delete that. And let's go back to enhance mode. So now we have the dark part of our 6 and the light. So we're going to take this piece, the light gray, hold our shift key, the light gray of the 1, combine those two together, or we could use our keyboard shortcut of Control L. Combine those two into one shape. Now you can see we have one shape, right? So now what are we going to do? Well, this is what we're going to do. We're going to take that one shape. We're going to go to our contour tool. We're going to offset 5 millimeters to the outside. There you go. We're going to right click and break contour group apart. Okay. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take that offset that we just created. Now this is just one shape now. You see that there? We're going to duplicate it by hitting the plus key on our keyboard. And then we're just going to drag it down into the side. So you can see this looks very similar to what we first started with, right? But we're going to do one extra thing here. Let's give this a different color just so we can see it better. Let's push it to the bottom, shift page down. So now you see this outline of this kind of pink color. Well, what we're going to do is take that and we're going to duplicate that as well. And then let's give it a different color. I don't know, let's make it yellow. So you remember that tip that I told you about, control page down? That pushes it back one object. And watch what we can do. See how I could just use my arrow keys to just nudge it like this. Okay, very simple technique. But if you know those keyboard shortcuts, it makes designing so much easier. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take that yellow shadow. We're going to hold our shift key and click on our orange version. and we're going to use the trim function here in CorelDRAW. Then we're going to delete our yellow shadow. Then what we're going to do is we're going to, in fact, let's look at this so you can get a better understanding. If we go into wireframe mode, you see this piece overhanging here, and you can see there's a piece overhanging here. So we need to clean those up so it cuts perfect for us. So what we're going to do is select that pink and the orange and perform a trim function. And when we do that, let's go back to wireframe mode. You see how it cleaned that up? And it cleaned that up. Perfect, right? Let's go back to enhance mode again. All right, so that takes care of those two things. And then what we're going to do is take our light gray and our pink and combine those two together. And now we kind of have something more along the lines of what I wanted to share with you. Now, what I want to do is I want to actually take this, and see where it actually combines right there? I'm just going to pull that in and do that right down here where those two colors touch. Pull it in a little bit, and I think we have to do it here too. Just pull this in, and then what we're going to do is take our orange and our pink and weld those two together. So there's the orange, there's the pink. Let's make that one color by weld. Okay, so now we're going to select the whole thing, and we're going to add a weed box, and we could sit back and marvel at what we created. Let's go ahead and let's go and add some glitter fill here. So kind of bring it back, compare the two. I'm going to go ahead and right click on MU. That'll simulate our stones for us. Oh, actually our stones we didn't convert to crystal yet. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and select everything and hit crystal. And then we can convert those. See that there? So you can see we made a small change. Nothing too serious. Subtle, but I do think it adds a little bit of extra dimension. Makes it a little bit different. Of course, you know, the shadow we definitely could have done in a different color if we had the desire to do that as well. And that could have been interesting as well. In fact, let's see if we could back up enough steps, because it might actually be interesting to look at that option. So we'll just go back to, see how far back we can go here. Let's see if we can get back to where we were. Before the weld is what we're looking for. So there, right there, okay? So now what we'll do here is let's go ahead and add a weed box again. But let's take this and we'll make it green. We'll take this and we'll make it silver. And we'll take this and make it silver. Oh yeah, that looks pretty cool too. In fact, that probably looks even better. And we'll go ahead and select that. We'll change those to crystal stones. And then we'll select that and we'll simulate those stones. And look how cool that looks. Yeah, that definitely looks a lot better, I think, than just having it all one color. But the point is you can take an existing design and you can modify it just a little bit and create something totally new. You know, this shadow could be any color. You know, maybe the colors are green and gold. I mean, look at how nice that pops. So just a little bit of tweaking. You know, we literally spent 10 minutes in this demonstration, and we're just trying all kinds of different things, you know. So just a little bit of modification, you can create a really cool version of a stock design. So I hope that kind of opens your mind and gives you some ideas of how to take something that we've already created for you and modify it a little bit with your own CorelDRAW skills and make it your own. Thanks for watching.